Alright, you bums, I'm here to talk about possible buffs for Jeanne d'Arc. This is like kind of a new style of video that I kind of wanted to do on the channel. Just because like there are moments like right now where we kind of have like a drought of stuff happening in the game, but I still want to talk about FGO. Obviously a very big fan of the Freight IP as a whole, and I love FGO a lot. And in the last video, or one of the last videos where we were talking about Shiro Amakusa, I was like, man, Jeanne just has nothing going on for her really. Like her NP is pretty good now, but I was like, dude, there's just infinite possibilities that they could do with Jeanne, and we can't even like necessarily look at Shiro Amakusa as like a guide for what they'll do for Jeanne, because he's a damaging servant, like he's like a boss killing DPS servant. This is a support servant, right? So it's like, what are they going to do with Jeanne? That's kind of what I want to talk about here today. So first and foremost, the only thing that they have buffed for Jeanne is her NP, which is very, very good, because this sucked dookie, right? First of all, it was very odd because this NP, this is like the flag one that protects everybody, why it stunned her for 2 turns. I will never know, dude. I literally cannot understand. Like if it was like the sword NP and she just like died or something, makes sense. But this is pretty godly. Like this is really good. We can build around this. Party-wide invincibility. I mean, this isn't very good, but I mean, if you get it to like NP5, I guess you're getting a pretty decent chunk of defense, so maybe that's the incentive. But this is also really strong. And then the HP regen isn't all that great, but it is nice that she's at least doing a little bit more, right? So it's like you're getting a free turn, you're getting, you know, probably a middling amount of defense, but then you're also getting your buffs cleansed and you're getting a little bit of HP regen. So let's look at what Jeanne has right now. So this skill though, I think this could mimic Shiro Amakusa's, right? Where she'll give the stars and she'll give NP gen to like one ally, right? Shiro Amakusa gives like 30% NP gen for 3 turns, and he gives like 10 stars for 3 turns as well. I think we could literally just get that skill, copy and paste it over from Shiro Amakusa, and that's already like, boom, mwah, helping Jeanne out a lot. Now, the problem with them doing this is that Jeanne is kind of already used as a solo servant because she can loop her NP with her deck, right? So she can basically just always be invincible. It just, you know, takes a long time because she's a ruler and she's like slow pokey things to death, right? But while this would help Jeanne do that because she would be able to more reliably get NP gen back from like her arts cards, it actually gives her like more viability as a support servant, because now not only is she going to help give stars, but she's going to give NP gen. And if they actually want to maybe pull her a little bit away from Shiro Amakusa to where they're not the same, maybe it's like you pop this, and similar to like Merlin, how Merlin has like the star refund buff, right? Maybe she'll hold the stars, so if she dies you lose the stars, but maybe she gives the whole party like 20% NP gen, maybe like, you know, God forbid they give the entire party 30% NP gen, something really good like that. That could maybe help distinguish her from Amakusa, where it's like, well, yeah, Amakusa, it is nice that he can give it to somebody, but she's going to give it to the party. Like, it's going to be a big, beefy buff that Jeanne gives. And that's something I think we could maybe see. That, or if they want to focus more on the crit aspect of this, it maybe could be, again, a party, like a targetable, like, crit damage buff, or it could be just like party crit damage. If they do like party crit damage, it probably would be like in the range of like 30 to 50%. But dude, imagine if it's targetable and it's just like, for 3 turns, whoever I target, they're going to gen like 10 stars and they're going to get like 100% crit damage for 3 turns. Like, can you imagine how insane that would make Jeanne if she could just be like, here's a free 100% crit damage. Those are like the 2 buffs I think they could give her, right? That would help her out significantly. The NP gen kind of helps her just be like a more overall good support, but that crit damage would kind of help her give offensive damage to the team. Now, this is like, okay, it's already like somewhat decent because it's neutering servant NP by a lot of damage. If they wanted to further elaborate on this, they could either have it lower enemy attack, but what I think would actually be very helpful is if it also lowered their defense by like 20 to 30% as well. That I think could help out a lot, because then again we're kind of doing this thing where she's buffing the damage of the party. She's fitting into that support role, like where she's going to help people do damage. So then we might have a situation where she's able to buff crit damage, and then she's also able to kind of help protect you from an NP, but then also maybe lowering defense by like 30% for 3 turns. Or if they want to stay with the 1 turn thing, maybe she could like do a massive defense neuter for like 1 turn, right? Like she lowers their defense by 50% for 1 turn. So like on that turn, you can't be hit by an NP and you're going to do tons of damage back. It still requires a little bit of timing, right? Because you don't want to waste lowering the servant's NP damage, right? Because that does actually help you tank NPs just outright. But it would give her, again, some nice offensive support. And then finally, we have this skill, which is basically just like a stun on servants. If they, like for Shiro Amakusa, they gave him a buster buff. For Jeanne, I'm thinking like a 20 or 30% party-wide arts buff instead to kind of reflect that. Because interestingly enough, they gave Shiro Amakusa like God's Resolution false. If they want to give Jeanne like God's Resolution true, right? And have it be like an arts buff to like kind of reflect that, I think that would go like miles to making Jeanne better. So already with those buffs, Jeanne would be like an exceptionally good like art support servant, because she's giving them stars, which is something that art servants can't gen themselves. And then she's also giving them crit damage on top of that, which Castoria nor Tamamo give, right? So they don't get crit damage from them, but Jeanne would be able to bring that to the table. Then she would also be able to lower enemy NP damage to kind of like help you tank NPs and lower defense. Like I think that would be a very, very powerful buff. And even if it just lowered attack as well, like it was basically like Nightingale's NP but a skill, that would be very powerful as well as like kind of helping you survive. And then finally, if this was just like 20% arts performance for the entire party, that buffs your ability to gen your NP, which is very good. It helps out people that may not have like an NP3 Muramasa or like NP5 Berserker Musashi, so they're not getting like crazy overkill. The way to combat that is to like get these buffs to buff your damage, then you can get that higher overkill, right? And it's also giving you better NP gen back on your arts cards. That would be really good. And then her NP is phenomenal for challenge quests. So I think these buffs could really help Jeanne out a lot. And I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments down below. Now, full disclosure, Jeanne is a servant that is like very near and dear to my heart. Like I love Jeanne a lot ever since I watched Apocrypha. So it's like, and Apocrypha was one of the shows where I started getting back into the Fate franchise. So like, a lot of the characters from Apocrypha are kind of to blame for me getting back into Fate and kind of starting this channel, if you want to look at it like that, right? Like, so I want to see her done right. I want to see her done justice, you know? Like, I'm glad Amakusa's been done good, right? They fixed Siegfried. Achilles from there is good. Karna is very good. Semiramis could probably use a little bit of buffs, but she's still fine. But what about Jeanne, dude? Jeanne sucks willy right now. She's garbage. So I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments down below. Also, let me know if this is a series that you guys are interested in. If you want me to cover like more servants, let me know in the comments down below. If I kind of like see that you guys are, you know, very receptive to this video idea, I'll go ahead and do more of it. But you know, if not, it's not a big deal. We'll find something else to talk about. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Peace late, guys.